Okay, at this time, as you can tell, we've got this drawing relatively ready to go to production on. I may want to move some things around, like this dimension right here is kind of bothering me. So we'll get out of that, and we'll come over here, select out here to the side, maybe try to grab that dimension and change that and move it around. All right, so now what I want to do is we'll do a rebuild and do a save of this file. We'll go ahead and turn this off. Go ahead and let's make sure we got this to rebuild. Okay, rebuild, and we'll save it. Now go back to our window. Yeah, we got it saved. So now we'll go ahead and turn that one off. Since we no longer need the this part here in this drawing, we'll go ahead and turn him off as well. So turn that off. Remember, you don't want to have a lot of files open because it really impacts your performance. Now what we want to do is we want to come over here and we want to select on this part here, and we want to open that up. And now we're going to create a custom drawing that doesn't use a border sheet. So at this time, I'll come up here to make drawing from part in assembly. And all we want is the top view. Now see where it says custom? Now I can come down here. That shows in millimeters, but if I wanted to, say I say 11 quote inches, hit my tab key. As you can tell, it kept that in imperial. So I'll say 8.5 inches here, and it creates my sheet. And of course I'm working in landscape, so that's fine. Hit OK. Now once it does that, it'll go out and create us a custom sheet. All we want to do is just grab this guy right here and slide him out. And if we also want to, we can come up above him and we can place other views, but I don't think it's really necessary to do that. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and accept that, and we'll click back on this, and we want to make sure that we check the scale. Okay, on this scale it looks like it's set to 1 to 2. We want it to be 1 to 1 scale. So now I'll come back up here and go 1 to 1. Now this is what we're actually going to be using in SolidWorks to actually, we're going to be using, obviously we'll make it in SolidWorks, we're going to be using this in Adobe Illustrator to create a part that's ready to be CNC plasma cut out. So now what I'm going to do is come up here and I'm going to turn some stuff off. I don't need that crosshair. It's nice having it, but I really don't need it. So what I'll do at this point is I'll say hide that. Hit my F key to zoom out. Use my middle mouse wheel, and I'll roll up here and do the same thing again. Select that and hide that. Okay, F again, roll up on this. Wherever my mouse is located, the screen will actually roll up or zoom up relative to that mouse location. Yeah, it says we're running low on resources, so gotta make sure I close some things out. Alright, so we come up here to this, right mouse click, and we'll hide that. The F key again. Okay, now that part, actually, we can probably go ahead and save it now as an AI file. So let's just do that. So we'll come down here and we'll say save as, and we're going to select our file type. We're going to come down here and pull this all the way down and select Adobe Illustrator. And let's go into our Bookend project, which is critical, our folder. Hit save. Now, a lot of times Adobe and SolidWorks will try to go out there and open up a PDF viewer, an Acrobat viewer, to see that part. It's really not necessary. I wouldn't worry about it. At this point in time, what I'll do is I'll stop here and see, there it goes. It's trying to open that up. Can't be found. Don't worry about it. Kill that screen. Go back to your drawing. Okay, so we'll stop here and then open up Adobe Illustrator and view that drawing. Okay, I've got Premiere open, I've got Adobe Illustrator open, as you can see right now. I'm going to go ahead and open up a file. Now, typically Illustrator goes back to the last file you worked on, so I'm going to instead go over to my Bookend project, which I've been working on, and I'm going to look for that particular file that we just created in SolidWorks. In fact, let's go ahead and sort by details so we can get an accurate idea as to which file just got created. So I'm going to sort by date, which is today, and let's see if we created an AI file. Let's do this. Scroll this over here a little bit. Actually, put that back over there. Move this out, and there's your steel base plate. And you can see it already has the Adobe Illustrator icon on it because it always checks and see if you got Illustrator on it. So I'll go ahead and open it. Now once it opens up, if you're using the student version of the software, it's going to have some text at the bottom. We need to get rid of that because the plasma cutter doesn't respond too well to that. So it's going to go look for that. It says we've got an update for you. We'll just pick snooze on that, and it's going to look for that font. We're just going to say find fonts, and you can see that text right down there at the bottom. Just say done. Now, once I've got that in there, I'll come down here and I'll select that font. It's got pink around it because it's looking for a specific SolidWorks type font. So now that's gone. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and increase the size of this file. I'll come over here and I'm going to create a drawing, go to Document Setup, and I'm going to create and edit my artboards. I'm going to edit the artboards to a size of 12 inches, as you can see here, tab by 12 inches, tab. Okay, and I'll zoom out on that. Okay, now we may have a little trouble in getting that whole part, our whole bookend assembly on one piece of steel, so we may have to look at a couple pieces. So now I got that on there. I'll go ahead and hit escape and get out of the edit artboards. I'm going to do a Control A at this time and do a Control G to group everything. I'll use my middle mouse button here. Let's do that again. Use my middle mouse button here to jog the part down. If I use the shift middle mouse button, it actually jogs it a lot faster, as you can tell just then. I can move that over here like that. So as you can tell, we got that in there. I'm trying to maximize as much of my space on my steel as I possibly can so that we're not wasting any material. Well, that looks pretty good right now. Let's go ahead and save our file again. Hit save, and we'll come back to this and start populating it with more parts.